Shalom, shalom. This is a part 3. Belief is the key to overcoming this world. Faith prepares us for the works to come. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, Lord willing as a whole, that you all continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of this faith and this truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, Yahweh Ba'ashem Al Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. We're going to deal with 2 points in this lesson. Miracles in the last days requires faith, both to perform and to witness. The second, the prophets perform miracles by faith, and the elect will too in this lifetime. So let's get into it. This is St. John, the 14th chapter, in verse 11 and 12. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father's. So you have to understand that the men of the Lord are going to do even greater works than what Yahweh Shai did on the earth. And through this lesson, we're going to go and deal with a few points in the time of Elijah, in the time of Elisha, and the time of the apostles when they were doing miracles. But let's go to the book of Mark, the 9th chapter, in verse 23. And this really is the point of the lesson where you should really have faith and believe. One day that's going to happen. The men of the Lord that you see on these videos that's actually teaching the word and being sincere, always growing, sharpening up, they're going to be doing miracles, not to boast themselves, but it's going to all glorify Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Just like teaching is glorifying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and bringing the sheep back unto him, the miracles, it's to glorify the Heavenly Father and his Son, and it's going to bring the other sheep that's going to believe by seeing miracles. This is Mark, the 9th chapter, verse 23. Yahweh Shai said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. All things is possible. And the men of the Lord are going to be that example. Because really, as an example, a man of the Lord to constantly be out there, especially for 40 years like Apostle Tahar, he has to have some type of faith within his temple to draw him to constantly go out for all this time. But again, it's not about the man. It's about, is Yahweh Ba'ashem Al Shai abiding in that man to constantly endure, constantly feed the sheep, constantly doing the same lie as the men before us. Faith is the key, and we have to believe. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, verse 7. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Stubble through the Spirit is like Esau, but this is a reflection of spiritual powers, right? They shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble, right? Like flash. So these examples mirrors the acts of the ancient prophets. Okay, so now let's get into First Kings, the 18th chapter, verse 36. 36 to 39. It says, and it came to pass at that time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art the Most High, or the Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, Yahweh, he is the Elohim. Yahweh, he is the Elohim. And this is a beautiful example of what I said earlier, that people are going to see these miracles and it's going to all go back to glorifying the Father. It doesn't matter if I float a car, if I heal somebody's kneecap. Okay, I did it, but I did it through the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. It's all about Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai getting his glory. Not us. It's all about Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai getting his glory. Okay? So now, let's go to another point. The chapter before. Going down to... The point is 21 and 22, but let's read from verse 17. 1 Kings 17:17. And it came to pass after these things that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and the sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. And she said unto Elijah, what have I to do with thee, O thou man of the Most High? Art thou come unto me to call my sin to remembrance, and to slay my son? And he said unto her, give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom and carried him up into a loft where he abode, and laid him upon his own bed. And he cried unto Yahweh and said, O Yahweh, my power, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times and cried unto Yahweh and said, O Yahweh, my power, I pray thee, let this child's soul come into him again. And Yahweh heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again and revived. Plain and simple, man. And what did, Lord willing, you seen it too. This man called on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Then while he was doing his act where he stretched forth himself upon the child 3 times, what did he do? He cried. He cried unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You know? He cried. Right in the AMP it said he called to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. And he said, let's read it. It says, then he stretched himself out upon the child 3 times and called to Yahweh and said, O Yahweh, my power, please let this child life return to him. Right? The men of the Lord is going to be calling on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai to heal somebody. Please heal him, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. In your name, please heal this person. Bring them back whole. Let's go into Elisha. 2 Kings chapter 2. Let's start at verse... I'll start at verse 10. The point is verse 14. It says, and he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me When I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into pieces. And he took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, where is Yahweh, power of Elijah? When he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elisha went over. Right? Come on, man. That is so fire. Right? In the NLT, it says he struck the water with Elijah's coat and cried out, where is Yahweh, the power of Elijah? Then the river divided, and Elisha went across. Oh, man, that is amazing. Oh, man. He put the mantle down on the water. He cried unto Yahweh, where is Yahweh, the Elohim of Elijah? And the rivers divided, man. The rivers divided. Oh, that is amazing. Let's go to the 4th chapter, man. You gotta believe, man. So this is dealing with the widow's oil. This is 2 Kings, the 4th chapter, in verse 1. It says, and now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear Yahweh, and the creditor is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thy handmaid have not anything in the house, save a lot of oil. Then he said, go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of the Most High, and he said, go, sell the oil, and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. Come on, man. He multiplied the oil. That made me think of Yahweh Shai when they had wine at the party, and there was no more wine, and he turned water to wine. That these examples is not in the scriptures just to be there. You got some men saying, oh, those miracles is metaphors. They didn't really do it. You really don't believe in the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, in my mind, I'm always having little dreams of having powers. Brothers be speaking about their dreams. I believe one day I'm going to have powers. And it's on this side, it's not about me. Yeah, I'm this. I can do anything. No, I'm going to be getting those powers. The men of the Lord are going to be getting those powers from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Just like we see Elisha, he's doing that. He asked Elijah, give me a double portion of your spirit. I don't know if I can do that, but hey, if you see me get beamed up, right, get taken up, I'll give it to you. But if not, then, you know, and he saw Elijah get taken up, and he got that double portion of that spirit, right? Let's go to chapter 5 in verse 1. Naaman is healed. So now Naaman captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him Yahweh had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leaper. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and had brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on the man's wife. And she said unto her mistress, would the Most High my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he will recover him of his leprosy. And one went in and told his Lord, saying, thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, Go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver and 6,000 pieces of gold and 10 changes of raiment. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, Now, when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman, my servant, to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes and said, Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man doeth sin unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me. And it was so, when Elisha the man of the Most High had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and with the chariots, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth, and went away, and said, Behold, I thought he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of Yahweh his power, and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper. Are not Abana and Par rivers of Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. And his servant came near and spake unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldest thou not have done it? How much rather then, when he saith to thee, Wash and be clean, then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of the Most High. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. Come on, man. Healed Naaman, and he was clean. So brothers that's listening to this, man, hey, even in you sisters, it's men of the Lord that you watching, men of the Lord that you might live with, labor with, if he's truly a man of the Lord, which is going to happen. The men of the Lord are going to be doing miracles. And it's going to, hey, your child, their leg might get messed up, and you might heal them, and you might be around people that haven't fully cleaved to hearing the word. Romans 10:17. They didn't grow in faith by hearing the word. But them seeing that miracle, that child being healed, they might be like, how did you do that? How did you do that? And the men of the Lord gonna be saying, it was by Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Again, it's all about Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai getting glorified. So this is Acts the 3rd chapter, reading verse 6. It says, Then Peter said, Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength. And he leaped up, stood, and walked, and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising the Most High. And all the people saw him walking and praising the Most High. And they knew that it was he that set for alms at the beautiful gates of the temple, and they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him. And as the lame man which was healed by Peter and John, all the people ran together unto them in the porch that is called Solomon's greatly wondering. And when Peter saw it, he answered unto the people, Ye men of Israel, why marvel? Basically, why be amazed ye at this? Or why look ye so earnestly on us, as though by our own power or holiness we had made this man walk? And this right here is being humble. This is the mindset we all need to get in, because, look at the wicked Jake. If they had these abilities, they will boast in themselves. But the men of the Lord is humble. They're lowly. You think this is of my own power, or because of the holiness that I have within me is the reason why he walked? No, it's because of who? Verse 13, Salaki. The Elohim of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the Elohim of our fathers have glorified his son, Yahushai, whom ye delivered up and denied him in the presence of Philip, when he was determined to let him go, but yet denied the Holy One, the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom the Most High have raised from the dead, whereof we are witnesses, and his name through faith in his name have made this man strong, right? Through that name he became strong, whom ye see and know, the faith which is by him have given him this perfect soundness in the presence of you all. And now, brethren, I wot that through ignorance ye did it, as did also your rulers. But those things which the Most High before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that Hamashiach should suffer, he have so fulfilled. Repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out. And when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord, right? And this is the thing, to repent is to be sorry for him. And you have to convert and change, So it's going to be people that's going to actually start to believe on this side. Just like that. History merely repeats itself. So Acts chapter 5, verse 12. And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people, and they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest durst no man join himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, multitudes, both of men and women, in so much that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them. There came also a multitude out of the cities round about into Jerusalem, bringing sick folks and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed every one, right? It's people was believing that they was gonna get healed just by the shadow of Peter. It's gonna be people that's gonna fully come. It said a multitude. It said believers were the more added to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Multitudes both of men and women. So many men and women on this side that's gonna still be living are going to believe. You got now some that's coming in by hearing the word, but you're gonna have a multitude fully being persuaded just by seeing miracles, man. Just by seeing miracles, ready to come and serve the Lord now, right? And if they do come in, right, that's just all the mercy from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, let's just read these last two verses, this last point. Acts the 19th chapter and verse 11 to 12. It says, and the Most High wrote special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or apron. The disease departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them, right? And we're going to keep reading because you'll see you'll see other people trying to do the same thing as Paul. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, saying, we adjourn you by Yahushai whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of one Sakiva, a Jew, and a chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushai I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? But who are ye? And the men in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, overcame them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. Right? So even in that true day, right, the real men of the Lord are going to be known. Wherever city, whatever country you in, the men of the Lord are going to be known. And you fake imposters, like they was imposters. They didn't know him. Right? The demons, they know who is of the Lord and who's not. And it's going to be exposed that a lot of y'all that was following some of these men, they are not the men of the Lord. Because it is some men out here that truly don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, or let alone the miracles. So these works were not performed through physical strength. They were manifestations of faith. These men had faith. Peter denied Yahushai and came back stronger in the faith. Yahushai told him, strengthen thy brethren. He came back stronger in faith. So before you get afflicted, examine your faith now, because it's going to be seen if you truly believe when shit hit the fan. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Scatter 4 corners of the earth, Lord willing, as a whole, y'all continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. With that, shalom, shalom, abababo.